there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did.
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that.
Oprah Winfrey has had a holier-than-thou image for decades, having positioned herself as the mother of Hollywood and one of the major power players in the entertainment industry. But apparently there are a number of sinister things hiding behind her mask, and with the Diddy scandal bringing so many secrets out in the open, she might be next to go. Let's take a look at how Diddy has been doing. At this point, it's an understood thing in the industry that a lot of people are arranging their lawyers to create airtight strategies that ensure they remain scot-free during Diddy's trial. But no matter what, it's inevitable that people seen associating with Diddy will have to answer to the feds.
I got to tell you, my thoughts reading the 14-page indictment yesterday were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call, because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here, because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
There are a lot of wild allegations in those documents that came out.
After all, the FBI is already under pressure, as multiple people around Diddy have claimed he was actually an FBI informant. So why do they want to take their own guy down now?
He said something on his podcast, the podcast called Collect Call with Suge Knight, and I want to highlight it. This is what he said a few months ago, quote, "It's a lot of things that people been knowing, and everybody gets judged differently. It shouldn't be a gray area when it comes to doing something right, doing something positive, or doing something for the community. That being said, naturally, Puffy been an FBI informant forever, as they would say. That's why it's different when it comes to him. Regardless of who gets hurt, all everybody been saying is Puffy, Puffy, Puffy. I think they shouldn't all blame everything on Puffy. His exes in the industry knew about it. Everybody in his crew knew about it. The bees he dates knew about it. Everybody knew about it. So don't push away from it now." So could that be true? Is this maybe just the words of a Combs rival who's merely speculating? Or if that is true, then what does that mean for Sean Combs? Was he really an FBI informant? Why prosecute him now?
Of course, insiders have different opinions on that particular theory, claiming that it is unlikely that the feds allowed him to do any high-profile crimes anyways.
If the FBI thought that Sean Combs had the ability to give them information on someone more important than him in the criminal world, and was mixed up in a criminal environment with criminal enterprises that the FBI really wanted to get information on, it's possible that they could open him up as an informant. I have my doubts, because this information is coming from an avowed enemy of Combs, not to defend Combs in any way, but I have my doubts that that he would have anything about anybody that was higher up the food chain than himself. Now, it's possible, and it will be well documented, since he is engaged in criminal activity and he's been charged, then it's fair game for the other side, Combs's side, to get that information out. And what they would do is use it as a defense. Well, the FBI knew what I was doing. The FBI authorized it, which they can do. The FBI can actually authorize criminal activity. It has to be signed off on at the highest levels. I signed off on it from time to time for organized crime informants, for example. But you can't, it can't be violent crimes. There are only certain types of crimes, criminal activity, that you can authorize.
But no matter what, it's obvious that Diddy is a very dangerous person. But he's also not the only problematic person in the industry. So what would it mean for Oprah to be associated with him?
Cat Williams said when he sat with Shay Shay earlier this year, the whole point of this is for them, in a coordinated effort, to pretend like none of it is real, for the public's perception. But everyone knows what's going on, and it's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy. See, people keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making Diddies. And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically, and Clive Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Look, Clive Davis is not here to respond to that. Jaguar,
Guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself.
Let's revisit the main possible connection Oprah has with Diddy. You might remember the resurfaced Usher video where Diddy talks about wrestling over frosted flakes with him. Well, Kevin Hart was also in that video.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
what the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the frosted flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen,
having a good time, yo. Oh, your Usher made it in the. Hey, yo.
Hart is even being suspected of closing down his restaurants after Diddy's arrest, though admittedly that's a far reach.
Hey, Kevin Hart, why are you shutting down all of your restaurants right around the time that Diddy gets busted, Bubba? For those of y'all who don't know, Kevin just shut down all 4 of his vegan restaurants in California after only being open for 2 years. And it's not like they weren't successful. Even Kim Kardashian was tweeting about how amazing his meatless burgers were. Meatless burgers. Good question though, Bubba. Does it have anything to do with this? And also, why the hell are you two so sweaty together? But to be fair, the super thorough fact checkers are saying that this is debunked and it couldn't be it because Kevin closed his restaurants on the 11th and Diddy got arrested on the 16th. Oh, but what's this? Diddy moved back to New York 11 days before the 16th because he knew that he was going to be arrested by federal authorities. And I think it's fair to assume, since him and Kevin are such BFFs together, that he would have let Kevin know exactly what was going on ahead of time.
But that doesn't change the fact that it's obvious that Kevin Hart is aware of the unspoken rules in the industry. And as Cat Williams implied earlier this year, it might have a lot to do with the fact that he's been around so many of them. He's publicly close to Diddy, Oprah, and even Tyler Perry.
Strong idea of a hold that you were comfortable with having on yourself and your choices. Well,
I think if you grew up poor, though, you're like, look, I've been there and I was fine.
What else?
Yeah, what are you gonna do to me? Yeah. I was like, and then I don't know if you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That was my way of cueing you. Like, it's open dialogue.
Yeah, you want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything, but
don't do it.
yeah, no, of course. Offered tons, man, but I got to a place where I understood that the dollar shouldn't shift my. I haven't paid my rent in like a month. I'm like, Mom, the rent. Where's the rent at? She's like, Are you reading your Bible? I said, Mom, come on. I don't have time to talk about that right now. Mom, I'm late. Like, I need the rent money. Are you reading your Bible? Mom, no. When you read your Bible, then we'll talk about rent. Another week, 2 weeks go by. Mom, they're going to evict me if you don't give me this rent money. Mom, I'm serious. Have you read your Bible? Yes. Okay, well, then let's talk about rent. Mom, I don't want to talk about the scriptures. I need the money. A month goes by, I get eviction notice on my door. They're about to kick me out. I'm like, Mom, I go to her house, I got the eviction notice. She said, talk to me when you read your Bible. I can't talk to you right now, I just leave. I go home, I said, man, let me open this Bible up.
He has recently even indirectly commented on his Diddy rumors.
Act bad, act bad, act bad, act bad, act bad. Hey, Kevin, when you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil?
I hosted for Diddy. Kevin, come here. Can you go get some girls so we can be in the bedroom with some girls? Let's get some girls up here, please.
First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. You asking the wrong person the wrong question. That sound like your question.
Say pause. Pause. Don't acknowledge this. It has nothing to do with me and Puff. Nothing to do with me and Puff right now.
Hold on.
Kevin Hart, like many, distancing himself from Diddy after the mogul's arrest and federal indictment.
Do you think he's safe in jail?
Wrong person.
The reason Kevin is getting questioned is because of this newly rediscovered footage of him hosting a Diddy hotel party back in 2010.
I'm not jumping the tub myself. Once everybody moves out, just me and the lady. What I do best? Oh! Did the camera catch that? Got the camera!
That is one bikini-clad woman's hair catching on fire in the hot tub. None of the celeb guests at this party have been accused of any wrongdoing.
But even if Hart is the link between Oprah, it doesn't prove she's as bad as him. But there are other incidents that do. For one, she was once very close to Harvey Weinstein, and after a grand Oscars speech supporting victims of sexual assault, she was called out by two people for her hypocrisy. One was singer Seal.
Oprah is now being criticized for her speech that night by a very unlikely star.
Me too.
3 days after Oprah publicly supported victims of sexual assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein, singer Seal Instagrammed this meme. Showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul, it reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
Please welcome Seal!
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot, that's right, you'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses, my bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
The other was actress Rose McGowan, one of the major accusers against Weinstein.
So Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations with some controversial men. Rose wrote, quote, "From being pals with Harvey Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain. She is as fake as they come."
And people even pointed out how she steered clear of any direct mention of her former friend by trying to focus on the industry as a whole rather than calling out women Misstee. Some think it was because if she started going after him, then he could reveal her secrets as well.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they were like, hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? I said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way.
She was even embroiled in sex trafficking rumors a few years ago, though they were later proven false, but it certainly affected her usually docile image.
Oprah shuts down sex trafficking arrest rumors. The media mogul takes to Twitter to respond to awful rumors stating she had been arrested. After finding out her name was trending on social media, she decided to address the rumors. Oprah tweets, "Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true. Haven't been raided or arrested. Just sanitizing and self-distancing with the rest of the world. Stay safe, everybody." Conspiracy theories surfaced online claiming that Oprah had been arrested in connection with an alleged sex trafficking ring and that her house had been raided. Many fans and Oprah's famous friends are coming to her defense. A Wrinkle in Time director and filmmaker Ava DuVernay slams the disgusting rumor. She writes, "Trolls and bots began this disgusting rumor. Mean-spirited minds kept it going. Oprah has worked for decades on behalf of others, given hundreds of millions to individuals and causes in need, shared her own abuse as a child to help folks heal. Shame on all who participated in this."
But while she can even assume innocence regarding her association to Weinstein, there are yet other incidents where she seemed to be involved in shady business. One example is the school she started for girls in Africa. What was supposed to be a golden opportunity turned out to be a nightmare when girls were found to be sexually assaulted by a matron.
And I wanted to be able to be in control so I could manage what was going to happen in their lives. And so often what happens when you release it, it comes back to you. So that's what's happening. Magnificent that in the very beginning, I could just everything comes together at a point where you understand that your life is bigger than you ever imagined. You know, I never had children. Never even thought I would have children. And now I have $152, expecting 75 more next year.
We arrested a former employee who was working at Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges, including assault, indecent assault, as well as soliciting girls under the age to commit indecent assault. And she's now at the Vereniging police cells.
Matole Macheka for that. Thank you.
I think the school has been open because they handed us a report of what was happening there, and they asked us to investigate what was happening there. And on our investigation, we arrested a woman who is a former employee. I think they have been open to make sure that all the criminal acts that have been taken place in the school are being investigated.
This was, after all, the promises Oprah made for their future. It seems weird that she didn't know what was going on in this situation as well, for something that was under her supervision as a namesake. There are several other examples of Oprah being less than the perfect image she presents. But what do you think? Was she really involved with Diddy? Or is it all just a conspiracy theory? That's it for now. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments below. For more updates, hit the bell icon.